Hello and welcome to another episode of Atty. Vlogger. Today we talk about consent in the context of Philippine contracts. Okay? Consent is an essential element of contracts, and the law defines such consent as the concurrence between the offer and the acceptance. Okay? So what is an offer? It is the proposal by one party of his willingness to enter into a contract, while acceptance is the manifestation of the other party to accede or accept all of the terms of the offer. Okay, so now what are the elements of an offer in order for said offer to be valid? Okay, it must be definite, it must be complete, and it must be intentional. So what does this mean? No, a joke given as an offer cannot be valid and will never ripen into a real contract. Even if the other party accepts the joke, that is not a contract. Okay, because the other party never intended to be bound by his offer. Okay? Now, the acceptance, it must be absolute and complete. Because if the other party does not accept part of the terms and only accepts the other part of the terms, then there is no acceptance. Okay? It constitutes merely a counter offer. Now, this is important. Why? Because this is how we will know when contracts are perfected. So when are contracts perfected? When there is meeting of the minds, or when consent has been perfected by the meeting of the offer and the acceptance. Okay? So now, if the acceptance is merely a counter offer, there has been no full acceptance of all the terms, and therefore the acceptance is not valid as such. As a counter offer, it was not fit, and the offeror may still revoke his offer because there has been no full acceptance. The only time that the offeror can revoke his offer is when the acceptance is full, okay, and covers everything. That time, the offeror cannot revoke his offer anymore. Okay? Now, how do we know when the contract has been perfected, when acceptance has been given? No? All we have to follow is what is also being followed in the Philippines, which is the cognition theory. What does the cognition theory state? No? It simply states that an acceptance is known to have been given once it reaches the mind of the offeror. Okay? So the easiest example is an instance of a contract entered into via registered mail. Let's say an offeror gives his offer to the offeree by a letter. The letter reaches the offeree. The offeree thinks, hey, I want to enter into this contract with the offeror. So he writes another letter and sends it to the offeror. However, before the letter reaches the offeror dies. Is the contract perfected in such case? No, because the letter of acceptance by the offeree has not yet reached the mind of the offeror. Okay? So, when can a contract be said to have been perfected? In the earlier example, had the letter of the offeree reached the offeror before he had died, then the heirs of the offeror would be bound by such promise, provided that the contract is not purely personal in nature, no? Then the heirs of the offeror would be bound to perform under said contract because the contract had been perfected by virtue of the meeting of the offer and the acceptance in one. That's it for consent on contracts. Thank you, and please watch the other episodes. Goodbye.